Hi there, and welcome to your introduction to yoga props. So, number one, the props are meant to be something to assist you, something to help you move through each posture as it's delivered through the class. It's not a sign of weakness. It's also not anything to be terrified of. These are items that you should be able to learn to trust and lean into as you need it. You can definitely get your body more comfy with the help of a few of these items. So I'm going to go over all the items that you are going to want to slowly start to stock up on for your home yoga space, whether that's just right next to your bed, you slide these guys underneath the bed or put them up in your closet. You may like to leave your station out ready to go. That way it's more tempting to get on the mat. I have done that for many years. But we're going to go in order of what's most important and what I feel you'll use most often. And then we will take it from there to some of the props that you can just take your time on working up towards as you start to play with your practice some at home. So number one is going to be a yoga mat. My recommendation is the Manduka Pros Extra Long. You get quite a few extra inches in length, and the mat is a little wider as well as a little thicker. What I'm sitting on right now is I could sit on this on concrete and I'm happy. It is made of rubber, so Manduka offers a lifetime guarantee on their products, on their mats. Very durable if you plan on taking it outside to practice in the grass at the park and then take it in. You definitely need to be able to take care of it and maintain it. However, it should not ever deteriorate on you. If so, you get to return it and get a new one. If you are more eco-friendly, then you're going to want to look at the Jade yoga mats, Jade. I believe they are about 20 to 30% cheaper, as well as a little bit more environmental friendly. I believe they are made from trees. But serious practitioners, I know, go through their Jade mats maybe about once every 2 or 3 years. So keep that in mind. I still have my yoga mats from when I started seriously practicing 14 years ago, and they were from Manduka. And so I've just recently started getting the extra long ones, and the extra long ones, I'll just never go back to the standard length. So keep that in mind. After your mat, you're going to want to have 2 yoga blocks. I'm going to recommend the 4-inch blocks, not the 3-inch blocks. Foam more so than the cork or wooden blocks. The foam blocks tend to give you just a little bit of give, which is very friendly on your joints. I'm also going to say my blocks that I will use are Manduka blocks. Even as the foam blocks, there's a little bit more weight to them. Versus the really light foam blocks. So depending on your budget, I'm going to recommend the Manduka foam blocks. And you can find these at sporting goods stores. I don't know about any of the super centers, but I know here locally in Texas, the academies sell some Manduka products. They do not sell the Manduka Pro mats. Those are one of the higher end items from that company. But they do sell the smaller travel mats, the blocks, and the straps. So I would look into there as well. But 2 yoga blocks, as long as you have these in your mat, you can do almost anything and everything to get your body feeling better by the end of your practice. After your blocks, I'm going to recommend a yoga belt, a yoga strap. You're going to find the option of the letter D as in dog, the D-ring option. That's what I'm going to say you go with. And I'm going to say get a 10-foot strap if you can. You have your options between 6 foot, 8 foot, and 10 foot. I'm going to say 10 foot. You just have so much to work with there, as well as if you plan on using yoga wall at all or getting that installed, the 10-foot strap is where it's at. That's what you're going to want to use. Yoga belts tend to give you a little bit more reach if you're trying to latch on to your foot for a balancing pose in a low lunge, reaching back behind you for that back foot. Any of the traditional binding options in the Warriors straps are going to be what helps you through that, so you don't so you don't blow out and overreach in your joints. This makes it a lot more attainable. Next, I'm going to say a yoga blanket. On Amazon, if you Google this, or if you look on any of the yoga prop sites, that's who Amazon sells. So you're either going through that site directly or going through Amazon. They're going to call them Mexican blankets. You can get assorted colors, or you can get solid colors. I really like the solid colors. I think the blankets hold their shape over time. They are very much machine washable. The more you wash them, the softer they get. They're wool, so they are extremely warm. And to start, I'm going to say one blanket. But if you can slowly build up to having a collection of 3 to 5 blankets, there's so many more things that you're going to be able to do, especially in some of the juicier restorative classes that I will be offering. The more blankets, the better, just to get yourself nice and cozy and comfy. And depending on the time of year, and if you tend to have, if you're more cold-natured, blankets are just the way to go. You can use it to sit for meditation. You can use it to cover up, use it as a pillow, use it to pad your knees and your hands. All sorts of things that we can do with this. So start out with one blanket. If you can get 3 to 5, slowly start to stock that up. After the blanket, I'm going to say your sandbag. You can get them in different colors. There is a metal zipper here, and then you also have an insert that has a second zipper. It's in this insert that I have the sand in its play sand that you can get at your local hardware store. Make sure when you get your sandbag that you slide this little insert into the main cover and then have it open and pour your sand in. That way it's not super messy. You can fit through this zipper hole. All of it's just really easy. So if you can stuff it in and have it look just like this, pour in your sand, zip, zip, and you're good to go. I'm going to say I tried to put in 10 pounds at one point, and that was a little too much. 5 pounds is a little less. So you can probably go between 7 to 8 pounds and not ever worry about that inner lining tearing. The inner lining tore for me several years ago with another sandbag, and over time that sand would just pour out and it just became really messy. So that's just a little heads up. With these sandbags, I'm going to recommend 1 to 2. Especially if you're somebody like me who tends to have migraines. It's really lovely to place one over my head when I'm having a lot of pressure, just to get everything to calm down. We also use this for our chest when we breathe, and sometimes we use, if we have 2, if supply allows, we place our sandbags on each of the legs just to ground down in certain positions. So 1 to 2 sandbags and you're going to be doing good with that. Okay, now for the pillows, we have 4 that we're looking at right now. The first one that's most important is going to be your pranayama bolster. This little guy can be used for any class, really helpful in different ways. You'll see the versatility of this sooner than later. It is my favorite thing to wake up and work with in my morning practice, just to help my chest open up, and it's softer than laying back on the blocks. So this is your pranayama bolster. You can get it in different colors. All these colors that you see, this color here, I think you can get red, you can get purple, you can get royal blue. There's all sorts of options on Amazon, so I recommend going there, checking it out. But this pillow is used throughout all classes. Great thing to take with you on a road trip if you need something to place behind your back, just to give that back some support. That's what I do with one of mine. But definitely 1 to 2 of these, depending on how much you like it. All of the covers to everything is all machine washable as well. I am going to recommend air drying it, because if you put it in the machine to dry, it's going to get really hard to put back on the pillow. Pranayama bolster is your number 1 top priority of all the pillows. The other thing I wanted to show you, this is a small rectangle pillow, and then this is the large supported rectangle pillow. I have just collected this one. I'm going out of order. I apologize. I just gathered this pillow earlier this year just to try it out. I've never really worked with it before, but for some of my athletes, this actually hits right on the spot for some chest openers. So I really like the width as well for my 7-year-old daughter. This is useful for her. This is her big bolster. This is what I use, and this is what she uses. So if you are a parent and you work with kiddos, this little pillow may be great for their smaller frames. But like I said, that's the very last one that you need to get if you're just getting everything. Going back in order after that pranayama bolster, the large large round bolster is going to be where it's at for you. There's so many things that we can do with this. We use this all the time on the wall in different options, as well as restorative classes. This is a very versatile pillow. Beyond vinyasa classes, we use them in hatha, we use them in our therapeutic and gentle classes, our restorative classes. Start out with one, but I'm going to recommend try to have two. You will not go wrong with this, and you'll see why in the restorative classes that if we can have two of these, that's even better. And then your final pillow is going to be your supportive large rectangle pillow. Again, any color that works. This is much different than the round pillow, and what these bolsters do, or these pillows do, it allows you to have a different experience in your yoga practice. In restorative and gentle classes, we will rest completely on some of these bolsters in different shapes and different rotations. With plenty of support for your body to fully let go and relax into the support, versus feeling like you have to work and you have to stay supported. The pillows allow for the practice to be slightly more passive, so your nervous system can actually calm down a bit more, so you don't feel like you have to do too much during your practice. When we use bolsters like this, we're trying to reduce your level of effort, level of stress, level of just how on you are in that moment. We're really trying to tone it down. So those are the props that you're going to need for any of the classes moving forward on Homegrown Collective. We have our link at the bottom of the video for our Amazon Prime store, where you can go in and you can check out all these items that I just talked about. You can go through, pick your colors, make your order. Some items may be shipped via Prime. Others, it may actually take 7 to 10 business days, depending on who their distribution partner is at the time. These props are made all over the world, so it just depends on which vendor Amazon is working with at the time. But biggest thing is make sure your pillows have handles on each side. Even if you find them elsewhere, as long as you have handles on both ends of all of your pillows, you're doing good. Okay, so that is your introduction to props. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you in the next video.